All right, our next guest is Matthew Perman, Director of Career Development at the King's College. Matthew is here to discuss his book, What's Best Next? How the Gospel Transforms the Way You Get Things Done.
All right, so we're going to talk about what to do to get things done, but using the gospel.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. I haven't actually... I actually don't know what's in store, so...
Yeah, well, we're welcome. Matthew, we're happy to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Tell us what the book is about and like how you were inspired to write it.
Yeah, well, it's unique because I take a faith-based approach to productivity, and that's rare. There's a lot of great books on productivity out there. I've been highly influenced by David Allen's book, Getting Things Done. There's hundreds of thousands of fans of Getting Things Done. And I've also been influenced by Stephen Covey, and I developed a productivity system so I could do better in my work. But as a Christian, I was struck by the absence of thinking on this from a Christian perspective. So I was motivated to write it to help people be more productive, whether they're Christians or not, but also to give a unique Christian view on the subject.
It's interesting you said that. I was going to ask, is it just for, using the Christian methodology or theology rather, but it's for everyone.
It is for everyone. So if someone is not a Christian, I want them to see, hey, Christianity has something great to say about all of life. Okay. But if they're not persuaded, that's okay. The book will still be very helpful to them.
So could you give us an example? Obviously, you want people to read the book, right?
Yeah.
But could you give us an example of how you use the gospel to figure out what's best next?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's two chief ways. First, the gospel shows us the importance of seeking a higher purpose in our work. Don't just work for your own benefit, for your own success. Work for the success of others. In fact, the best business research has been showing that it's the people who seek to help everyone succeed that are more successful themselves. And the gospel shows us that because that's actually what Jesus did. I mean, Christianity believes Jesus, is God. He became man and went to the cross for our salvation, to meet our needs. So he was thinking of the welfare of others before himself. And we are to reflect that in the way we go about all of our lives. And it means we seek to succeed by helping everyone else succeed, not just ourselves. And then, yeah.
It's a simple concept, almost like the golden rule, right? Do unto others. If we were to take a step back from the Christianity aspect, but just everyday life and how we should treat others.
Absolutely. I see the golden rule. It's at the heart of productivity, actually. And I talk about this in the first part of the book. So do unto others as you would have them do unto you, or love your neighbor as yourself is another way of stating the golden rule. And I believe that's actually how to be productive. It's before you use any strategies or tips, you need to have this mindset, and it leads to more fulfillment. You can actually succeed and be happy if you let the golden rule be your guide. And also you will do better work. You will care about good design and usability in your work because you want to treat people the way you would have them treat you.
How did you come up with this? Were you just, at a service one day and you thought, oh, this would work in business? Or how did you make this connection? Because it makes sense, but it's not something that I might have thought of when I was sitting in church as a kid.
Yeah, totally. It's such a great question. I love theology. So I started studying theology in college just on my own. I got my seminary degree, but then I started working at a ministry, and I learned that knowing theology was not enough. I had to learn how to get things done. I got some pushback from people. I started reading how to get things done, and there were some Christians, some really good Christians, that said, is this really spiritual? And I said, yes, the Bible talks about all of life. We are to live all of our lives with God in view. And so I wanted to teach about productivity, and I wanted to also give an answer to those who are Christians who are saying this isn't spiritual. So I sat down to think through, how does the gospel impact our productivity? It actually took me a long time. I had to do a lot of thinking. I would go on long walks and think about how exactly does the gospel relate to this. I would talk to people. It was really a long process to get it.
Have you seen success in people implementing this in the workforce?
Yes, I've gotten so much feedback. I've even had several people say to me, hey, if it wasn't for your book, I would have lost my job. People working in law and other fields like that.
So it's so simple, just being happy at work, right? Then you'll be productive. So would you say, like, if you want to become a CEO, right? And if you want to ascend in your role, then just be happy and treat others with respect and read Matthew's book.
Well, you got it. Yeah, read my book. I hope my book can help you with it.
I'm going to start passing this out to some of my coworkers who could really use that.
Yes, I love it. You know, and one of the early CEOs of IBM said that respect for the individual was the cornerstone of their business philosophy. Now, I don't know if he was a Christian or not. He probably wasn't. He could have been. But I look at that and I say, this is it. He is really reflecting a biblical view. And IBM was a great place to work for so many years. I don't know about it right now. Maybe it still is. But respect for others is really at the heart of good business. And if you want to be a CEO, make that the cornerstone of your business philosophy.
Yeah, it sounds like such a simple rule, but it's not that easy to come across in the workplace. Being in corporate America for so long, a lot of people could take that advice.
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining us, Matthew.
Thanks,
we really
Matthew.
appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, great.